Route 66. It's known as America's Mother Road, a symbol of freedom, open skies, and vintage neon signs. But when the sun sets over the desolate Mojave Desert, this historic highway transforms. For decades, truckers and late-night drivers have reported encounters that defy logic. Encounters with something that refused to cross over. This is the chilling legend of the Vanishing Bride of Route 66. Our story begins in the late 1950s. A young, deeply in love couple was driving cross-country for their honeymoon. The radio was playing soft jazz, the windows were rolled down, and the future seemed perfect. But as the clock struck midnight, a thick, unnatural fog rolled across the black asphalt, swallowing the headlights of their classic sedan. Suddenly, the engine sputtered. The dashboard lights flickered and died. The car rolled to a silent halt on the shoulder of the road, miles away from civilization. There was no cell service back then, no way to call for help. Just the eerie, heavy silence of the desert night. The temperature inside the car began to plummet. Knowing they couldn't stay there forever, the husband made a fateful decision. He looked at his terrified bride and said, "Stay inside. Lock the doors. I saw a gas station a few miles back. I'll be right back." He stepped out into the biting cold, his silhouette slowly dissolving into the swallowing mist. 1 hour passed, then 2. The silence inside the car was deafening. Every shadow in the desert looked like a moving figure. The young bride clutched her wedding ring, her breath turning to ice in the freezing air. She kept staring down the road, praying to see the silhouette of her husband walking back. But he never came back. By dawn, a passing trucker spotted the frosted vehicle. When authorities opened the door, they found the young bride. She had tragically succumbed to the freezing desert temperatures and sheer terror. Her husband's body was found days later, miles away, the victim of a brutal hit and run. They never got to say goodbye. Grief and unfulfilled love can bind a soul to the physical world. Decades passed, but the bride's spirit remained trapped at that exact mile marker. In the 1970s, truckers started sharing the same unsettling story. A beautiful, pale woman in a vintage white wedding dress, standing entirely alone on the double yellow lines of the empty highway. Drivers, thinking she was a stranded traveler or a victim of a breakdown, would pull over out of kindness. She would quietly open the door and slide into the back seat. When asked where she was heading, she would only whisper a single instruction. Just a few miles down the road. Her voice sounded like cold wind rushing through trees. She would sit in absolute silence, staring out the window with tearful eyes. But the moment the car approached the exact mile marker where her engine had died decades ago, the temperature inside the vehicle would suddenly drop to freezing. The windows would instantly frost over, and when the panicked driver turned around, the back seat was entirely empty. She leaves behind nothing but the faint scent of old roses and a chilling mist. To this day, the Vanishing Bride still walks Route 66, getting into the cars of strangers, forever searching for the husband who walked into the dark and never returned. So, if you ever find yourself driving down Route 66 past midnight and you see a woman in white, you might want to think twice before pulling over. Sleep tight.